something that'll help that, you know. And there's the there's no doubt that the wisdom of the one who gives the care in the household is dramatic, and so much of it can be negated, really taken out of the area where it's a disruption versus just a simple little thing that they don't have to worry about, and it's really fabulous. And I think that's the audience that should be listening really, and all of this other. The other thing I want to tell you is that the problem with the sunscreens and all of these other products, when they permeate into the skin,
That's right.
they're a bear to get out of
Yeah.
it. And there are ways of pulling it out, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about
So,
that one.
Okay.
On that point, Bill makes a great point, and what we're doing with the sunscreen is using particles that absorb light that are too big to get absorbed by the skin. So they do just sit on the surface. They absorb the UV light, so you don't get burned. But there's no concern of it getting into the body itself. And that's really what what I would consider the holy grail for sunscreen is something that protects your skin but doesn't ever get absorbed by the skin.
And you're going to talk
But
about
even the Skin Wisdom that you have right now is a great sunscreen because I use it quite liberally when I go out, and great protectant. And like we're talking about, if you get a little boo boo or something worse, it'll basically going to give a cover for that area to heal very quickly and reduce pain and inflammation, all kind of crazy stuff. Oh, what a great product.
Actually, Michael, if you wouldn't mind, if you could pull up that illustration that we sent you, and I can talk a little bit about how the product itself works on wounds. So with the cartoon.
oh, the cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon one. I think it's called Mechanism or something.
The before application, self-assembly, the little one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so these are great to look at, so people can get an idea, what's actually going on with the skin. So I love these.
Yeah, so we worked hard on kind of trying to get it so we understand. And part of the issue, not issue, but one of the things that was important to me when I came onto the job was really understanding how the product itself works. So this is a very simple illustration of it, right? So the proprietary compound that's in the formulation is called elanocone. It's a very, very short silicone that's both what I would call amphiphilic, which means it can go into water as well as oil substrate. So it goes into both. What happens here is you can see on the left-hand side there's the silicon hydroxyl OH groups there that then when they self-assemble onto the surface of the wound, forming a little layer there, once they get in contact with each other, they bond together. So now you got basically a artificial Band-Aid across the wound itself. But what's unique about it and what's different than other systems is that this, it's a semi-permeable membrane that allows oxygen to transport across the membrane into the wound, which aids in healing. But it also doesn't allow pooling of the liquid around the wounds where you get bacterial growth and things of that sort.
And maceration.
Yeah, maceration. And it's well known that silicones or bacteria doesn't like to settle on top of silicone. So it also prevents the wound from fouling with other bacteria and getting infected. And what you end up getting is on the far right there, a protective barrier across the wound that allows the other ingredients to stay in contact with the wound for longer, allowing it to heal better, transport oxygen across the barrier from the outside, but doesn't allow water to pool and cause more infection issues from there and maceration. So I really this is really exciting for us because we spent a long time really trying to understand how the product works. At the end of the day, it's really just a physical barrier that allows longer contact with the treatment for the wound while giving it the best environment possible to heal.
Wow, this is fantastic. So every doctor should love this little slide right here, and what it's actually doing. So faster, healing and so forth. But with a product like this is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and I'm sure Dr. Bill would agree, is the best way to have wounds heal is to give them the best environment to heal in, basically. And this is what Elanocone really does for us, and really gives the patient the power back to heal.
The other thing it does, Michael, it takes a lot of wounds that tend to drip and are wet, and puts them into the phase of healing where they're dry,
Yeah.
which is where healing takes place. A lot of chronic wounds, people notice they're wet all the time. They consume a lot of dressings. They're producing so much water, the wound is getting macerated. What this product actually does, it promotes the body to dry the wound. And as soon as you throw that switch, that's where now all of the macrophages in there, the white blood cells, and all the other characters can get to the wound, stay there, and not be washed out and diluted out and do their jobs. So it enhances the environment.
Right. Along with that, if I could just add, I did mention that it doesn't allow for pooling of water, but because of the compound is, again, amphiphilic, it likes water, not water, it spreads the moisture across the whole wound evenly, which is important, right? Because the cells can't heal if they can't move around and transport the different things with the, nucleophiles and all these different parts of the immune
Right.
system.
Yeah.
So it allows for not too much water to build up where you get bacterial infection, but it also allows for transport across, within the wound itself so it can heal.
It balances it out.
Balances out. That's right.
Yeah, fantastic. And we also have some other slides of some.
Yeah, if we were those
Yeah, let's bring up a few of those and let's discuss some of these. So, wow, amazing.
I knew you'd like it.
Do you want to walk through?
Yeah, this one of my peers in Florida did a series of patients who he was treating with a laser to resurface, and if you look at the top patient, this was a patient that literally applied the silicone after treatment and kept up the treatment. And I can tell you, having used lasers for resurfacing, this picture here, where she's, I think, only several weeks, usually,
Days. It's
is it days?
Yeah, it's just a couple.
30 days. Yep.
I can tell you that most patients don't look that good until around 30 to 60 days.
That's the end one. But this one she had just had done,
Right.
one in the middle.
So if you look at now the next series, that patient had number one, no silicone applied to it, the Skin Wisdom, but it also had a leading product that is on the market that's was popular, and you can see the difference in what transpired,
Right.
in the short run and in the long run. Long run, things sort out, but most people are concerned about the short run,
Right.
because if they don't look good during the short run, then they're calling you all the time. They're going, when am I going to look good? So it's nice to kind of get them into the long run faster with this product, which calms everything down and again creates the environment to maximize the healing at the far end.
Yeah.
But you can get there a lot quicker.
I think
Wow.
it's a really good demonstration that if once there's an injury, whether it's on purpose with a laser ablation or if there's an insect bite, the sooner you apply the Skin Wisdom Rescue Spray, the faster the wounds start to heal themselves. And that this is pretty clear that the woman on top used Skin Wisdom right away. It cleared it out, makes almost no damage at all. You can go out on the next day out with that, whereas the woman on the bottom went 30 days without. It was just traditional treatments, and it's very difficult to go out looking like that at this point.
I think what it's doing, it's the prime directive in our healing process was based on when we were really living out in the forest and in a relatively primitive environment, and only people who survived in that environment were ones that could take a wound and resurface it and essentially get rid of all the damaged cells right away, because there was no thing in nature that they knew of that would get rid of these dead cells. And so what happened, our immune system got trained into being more aggressive than it needs to be. And so what has blown me away with this product, you give it permission to take the calm route, and holy crap, you don't get the damage, you don't get the destruction, you don't get the scar tissue.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of emotional, add-ons that occur in that. When you look like hell, you feel like hell.
Yeah, I think I'm sure your audience is familiar. I think that there's this whole, I don't know if I want to call it a theory, but a principle within the healthcare industry is that inflammation causes a lot of other secondary diseases. Where, I mean, my background is in cancer research. I spent a long time developing new cancer drugs, but I also know that in solid tumors and things like that, inflammation is the problem that causes a lot of these mutations and stuff like that. So again, I think by applying a product that reduces inflammation early on, we start minimizing some of the secondary problems that come about.
Yeah, because
Wow.
a lot of damaged cells can heal themselves.
Yeah.
It's just a question of giving them the time to do it.
Sure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
he wants to. This is Bill. So
Oh, these are two gentlemen that have the classic problem that you see with the Hispanic and the pigmented skin. They tend to have a lot more oil in them. And so if you look at the pre versus the post, you'll notice that the general swelling in the skin that's gone after they've been treating themselves with a Skin Wisdom. This comes back to what we were saying about inflammation and water, and what it will do, it balances not only the water in the skin, but it balances the oil in the skin. Because remember, this product works with both water and oil. And so it seems to impact on both. So if you have somebody who has very oily skin, it's their response to injury. Again, the product says, hey, guy, you don't need all this extra oil to protect yourself while you're healing. And so what it does, it will take all different varieties and types of skin and essentially create a pathway to them to get to the center where they're all balanced.
Yeah, that's incredible results for such a short period of time, and I love that comparison with someone not using Skin Wisdom and someone using Skin Wisdom day one after treatment and look great, and then 30 days later, if I look at both of them, I'm like, wow, this woman looks like a whole different person, but this other woman is like looking good, but not as amazing as the woman that used Skin Wisdom. It's like it's night and day.
So it's a difference between the two, and it's good that you bring it up. Is that we're actually running some clinical trials now where we're used again with the laser ablation, where we're only going to treat half the face with Skin Wisdom and not the other half, and then we can see with the same person what the results look like differently. And as soon as we get those results, we're happy to kind of come back on and share those with you guys.
Oh, great, yeah, and I'll just throw that back up just one more time. So yeah, look at the difference between this woman 30 days after Skin Wisdom, during Skin Wisdom, not during Skin Wisdom, and 30 days later. She looks great, but this woman looks spectacular to me after
Top can go outside almost within a couple of days, basically, of the treatment, which is almost unheard of. So
right,
we're really
wow.
Absolutely.
So fantastic job, and fantastic treatment. But again, every doctor would love to have this if they really could. So now they can, but they're not getting it from a pharmacy right now because FDA likes to play games, and you guys didn't want to play games, so you have control of your product, and you're continually making it better and have it available at a very low price, and so that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So there was a letter that was also available. Do you guys want to go over that letter from that?
In Dr. Johnston's letter.
And,
yeah.
That's the letter that went with the.
Yeah, it's the letter that goes with the two pictures, and I have it here somewhere.
I think it was Dean how he ran the series of patients that he did in terms of days of treatment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
Michael, it's from Dr. Dean Johnston. Oh, there you got it. I was trying to pull it up.
Okay.
But that's his wife. It's the anonymous woman that she loves us so much that she said, I'll do it, Jennifer, and I won't use any spray. And she courageously let her face look like that for a whole month. And she
gotcha.
wanted to give us the 30 days. And so he just explains it in the letter to make it more official, that he did it with 10 patients starting immediately following the procedure and daily right on through. And then his Kathy just didn't do a thing. And she was his control. And so I love her for that.
What I love about this is these are you guys and this gentleman, experts in their fields.
Oh yeah.
and in your field. I mean, incredible. I know you gentlemen. You guys are incredible experts. So, and you're saying this product, everybody should be using this product, and I think it's really going to get out there. We just have to, get the word out there. We have Juliana is in.
Oh, good. She's in. Okay. Anna Allen's daughter, by the way, Michael. She's been trying.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, very nice.
Great.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you tell us about
How are you?
Tell us what you think about the product, Juliana. Can you hear me? Juliana, can you tell us why you wanted to call in and talk about the product? You know what?
We can hear you, but you can't hear us. Go ahead and talk if you can understand.
Okay. I was like, it said it was connecting right now.
Okay, gotcha. So you had great results with the product. You want to tell us what happened?
Yeah, so my mom had skin wisdom when I was a kid, and so we used the spray whenever we would get a sunburn, and like the very next day, like the sunburn and like the three-degree burns that we should get because it used to bubble up would just be gone. And like I was so in love with that because I was like, I hated the sunburns and I hated the 3-degree burns, and then after spraying that and waking up the next morning and it to be gone was like a lifesaver.
Gosh, I remember as a kid, I didn't get burned like that, but other kids did, and it would be they couldn't go out in the sun. It'd be like they have to wear shirts in the sun. While all of us are swimming, having a good time, they're like having to wear shirts. And it lasted at least a week or more.
Yes,
that's amazing.
I have to tell you, Michael, one bad sunburn actually increases your risk of cancer lifetime by hundreds and hundreds of %.
Yeah.
So
wow.
It takes one bad, before the age of 18, one bad sunburn where you've blistered and been, incapacitated from it. You're going to have some sort of skin cancer down the road with it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But maybe not if you use skin wisdom, right?
I'm waiting to hear.
By the way, Michael, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is that the sunburn causes a lot of inflammation, which ends up causing a lot of mutations in the cells, which ends up causing the skin cancer. So again, if we can take that inflammation back down with skin wisdom, then I think we'll reduce
the risk will vanish over time. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's great share, Juliana. Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks.
See, she had a Dr. Mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But with skin wisdom, everybody's a doctor at that point.
That's right.
And I know you guys wanted to have it within the military, and that was a big focus during a certain time frame where other products were starting to come in that Jen and I represent. But it's amazing that it never really got traction. But I think that's what happens or happened for a lot of products.
Right.
You had to go to a different route because there was so much pressure on you guys to conform, and you weren't going to conform. So and now we still have a great product, and we have a great guy that's in charge now of health, Robert Kennedy.
Oh yes, in Washington. Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to add, Michael, we were when we started off, we exploded, and we got into 17 states nationwide. We were in many cancer radiation clinics, and we did get a study from the National Cancer Institute because they heard about the blue bottle. They kept because I had cancer groups in Tampa Bay that were using it, and it was stopping the burns from radiation, which was our whole goal. Anyway, we were able to go that way, and all of a sudden the FDA started closing down companies that didn't have their approval. And so I pulled everything off the market, and then we went through as I've said before, 2 different long-term, 2 years each, trying to get through the FDA, and got blocked each time because someone messed up our formulation. 2 different ways, 2 different times. So we really were nationwide very easily, and then we had to pull back. So this time we're coming back, and we got
Yeah.
good helping us.
You guys got sabotaged in many different ways. So now
Yeah.
you've learned, you're smarter, and now you're coming in with more products. Wow, that's fantastic. Now, someone in the chat is mentioning aloe vera, and I know that your product has it. I'm going to share the screen and show that. But yeah, that's fantastic. I remember as a little kid, my grandmother had a aloe vera plant on the porch, and I remember getting burned, and she used that, and it was spectacular. I was like, wow, grandma's like, she's like a magician, or she's a doctor, and natural medicine back then was great, but we still have natural medicine in this product, Skin Wisdom.
My mother was part Cherokee, and she's the founder of this company, the original founder. She was the one that always had aloe in her house and put it on me for any burns. So that was the inspiration. And then Fred Runnels, who is one of the 2 people who wrote the patent with Dr. Bill, was one of the first people nationwide to use aloe plants, and he started a whole product that he sold nationwide, sort of like Mary Kay. They were selling it nationwide. And so that's who started our company with Dr. Bill and me, bringing the formulations together. So aloe was an important part. And now you want to say something.
Absolutely.
He's jumping.
No, it's because it brought me to something.
Okay.
So I don't know, as you guys probably know, my background really is in organic chemistry, and in developing cancer drugs. I focus a lot on the chemotherapeutics. And it's funny, I used to be gung-ho all about new technology with the new types of compounds and all that stuff. And then I kind of, I'd spend some time at Moffitt when we were doing clinical studies and really saw the results of what would happen. So my mentality has switched completely and gone back to the natural. If you can get it done with natural remedies, that's for me the best path forward as well. And that's when I talk about the sunscreen, we're really trying to formulate something from existing natural products that'll help us protect the skin without giving it anything foreign that will cause any issues later on. So it's just someone that was so into traditional Western medicine. I've switched more to natural remedies now. I think they offer a lot more benefits.
Talk about the hyaluronic acid. I'm sorry, we just showed that. Talk about hyaluronic.
No, this is best for Bill for hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
Well, before I do that, I have one other comment about Fred. Fred was actually a very fascinating guy and chemist. He had a brother who was a dermatologist, and at 22, his father had bought a company to manufacture cosmetics and said, Fred, I want you to be my chief chemist. And so Fred went to the brother and said, all this stuff in skincare is terrible for the skin. What do I do? And the guy and his brother said, you do what the skin does for itself. Mm-hmm. And so Fred looked for the most biocompatible and bioadaptable material, protein, in nature. And ironically, it was a crash in the aloe drink market that brought him to South Carolina, where he had the opportunity to actually combine aloe with skincare. And that's where it came from. What he discovered, it was the most bioadaptable protein out there and biocompatible. And it was all based on, having a conversation with his own skin and saying, what do I need to do for you to make you happy? And it came from studying the actual material in our glands in our skin. So just so you know, it's quite an amazing story, the whole thing. You got a thumbnail.
Why do we have hyaluronic acid in there?
Hyaluronic acid is actually
we've just added it.
But it's a product where it's kind of sexy because they're putting in a lot of products. But the reality, a lot of people aren't getting the benefit of it because hyaluronic acid actually breaks down very quickly in sun. And so one of the things that's been interesting since we've introduced it into our product, a lot of people who are familiar with the other types of hyaluronic acid out there told me this one seems to stay active longer. And what I believe is going on is the shield that Habib has talked about actually is preventing ultraviolet breaking down the hyaluronic acid once it's absorbed into the skin. So where it used to have a half-life, if unprotected, of about 8 hours, I think our product has probably got a half-life of closer to 24 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know what I really enjoy about the product is most products you have to, it's in a tube or something, it's a cream or something like that, and you got to like put it on. If you have damaged skin, that's not good. It's not fun. Now this is just like this. You just spray it right on, and you can feel the difference, and you can feel how it's like, oh, it feels so good. Even like I don't have anything going on up here, but I spray that on. It's like, it feels so good on your skin. How did you guys come up with the actual spray, and what's the benefit of the spray?
Oh, Dr. Bill.
Dr. Bill.
Well, I had quite a bit of experience in burn units, and when I came here to Tampa, I was working at the burn unit at Tampa General for the first 3 or 4 years, and seeing the amount of pain inflicted by trying to go and clean wounds mechanically, it's brutal. And to have a no-touch delivery where the material actually coats and kicks in and stops the inflammation, there are a lot of doctors out there that just don't even know about this product yet to understand the potential for them.
Yeah. Michael, I think I've talked about it before, but in terms of canker sores in the mouth, and I've been able to apply it through the spray without having to touch it, which just hurts. But what I think is also happening is we have talked a lot and we've gotten good feedback in terms of the relief of pain so quickly. And I think what's happening is the silicone could be wrapping around the nerves themselves, protecting it from mechanical or chemical stimulation, which will calm it down. And again, reduce inflammation because the nerves aren't overly excited, things of that sort. So we're going to do a little bit more research on that. I think that's what's happening, but we'll keep you guys updated. But we do know that at least with an open wound, the pain goes down very quickly.
Very good. So recommendations for different wounds and cancers and all that kind of stuff. How you guys have experience of using this product on cancers and burns like you're talking about, and the results have been
anything that's basically due to an inflammatory process will respond to this. However, there are a number of conditions that are systemic, and one of the troublesome ones is the shingles.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, what happens with shingles has a vector, a virus, and the virus invades the nerve endings. So what's happening is the nerves are getting infected, and so we may be coating the ends of them where they would send the painful stimulus on, but they're already damaged and fired up. So the problem is once somebody's in a chronic state with shingles, I don't know of anything that really is phenomenal at handling their pain. I can tell you that it'll take an edge off enough where you can wear clothes and be functional, because my mother was fortunate enough to be able to finally dress and wear clothing, after she started using our stuff, and she'd had, several outbreaks of shingles. And so the problem is, if you can get to the first hit with the shingles, you might be able to prevent the viruses from actually getting into the nerves.
Yeah.
But short of that,
yeah, I would say it's probably not the best use of it. We've gotten some really good feedback from your viewers actually on shingles, where they got a little bit of relief for a few minutes, but because it's not an open wound or anything of that sort, I don't know if it's the ideal circumstance for it. I would say for open wounds like diabetic ulcers, any inflammation of the skin, whether it's dermatitis, sunburn, or insect bites, that's the best results and most consistent results we've seen. I would apply it 2 to 3 times a day. 2 pumps. Make sure you saturate the area. It's going to self-assemble and do its job on its own. And that's really where I think we're really focused on right now is the sunburn, sun skincare market, as well as the outdoor insect bites, poison ivy, things of that sort. Is I think really where we're honing in, and we've gotten the most consistent results for.
Diaper rash.
Diaper rash would be another great one. Yeah, I mean, I will say So my father is very elderly. He's 101 years old, but he's in great shape, thank God. But I'll say for certain wounds from like diapers and stuff like that, where there was an open sore, this has been great for that. And where I've treated him with it as well, and he loves it for that case. So he probably doesn't like that.
It will cut down on skin tears.
Yeah.
Because it cuts down the friction when you're moving a patient on sheets.
Yeah.
A lot of patients actually end up with open wounds because they get a burn from being dragged on a sheet.
Yeah.
And so if you cut down the mechanical friction that's coming and drag, you can prevent a lot of the skincare issues that are really related to mechanical factors in the environment.
And that was shown, and I think we talked about it in the past, and we're going to revisit the study, but we did give it to a bunch of Marines that were out in the desert, and they sprayed it on their feet and their armpits beforehand, and they got some significantly less irritation. The silicone itself acts as a lubricant, and it keeps the skin from tearing and causing those rashes.
It stopped the chafing from the body armor.
Yeah.
I wish I'd used. I didn't even think about that. I wish I'd used it. I did a hike the other day. I was out for like 10-mile hike in the mountains.
Yes.
It'll cut it right.
Coming from Florida, the sea level of mountains and doing hikes is tough. But I wish, because after I got rash burn, so I'm like, I was like, oh, I got skin wisdom. So I sprayed on there, no problems. Still no problems.
Yeah.
And of course it did rub a little raw, but it took care of it. And I just completely forgot about it. And I reached down and it's like, oh, it's healing up. Yeah. But yeah, gosh,
better.
That's used it before. Hello. Yeah, very nice.
We have an individual that's used our product and swears by it. He sprays the bottom of his feet before he runs so he doesn't get blistering. And then again so it reduces sunburn as well over his face. So he won't go outside without applying it everywhere, basically.
Right. Very good. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, hikers, a lot of us, get rubbed raw, and especially when you get a new shoe. So yeah, that's a great idea too, to spray your feet before you hike.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I love this.
Well, it's also great for a lot of the guys that like to go on the boat and fishermen because of the wind burn and the sun out there. If you're a skier and you're going down the mountain, you get the wind burn. A lot of us, and I think the chapstick we're developing will help with that as well.
Oh yeah, that'll be amazing. So yeah, this winter when I'm skiing, I'm looking forward to it.
We'll make sure you get you a couple.
We'll get you some prototypes.
I'll be sharing them. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, look at this.
That's right.
Outstanding. So in the links, guys, we have a discount. You get 25% off. It's already super reduced price, but you get another extra 25% off. Jayco 2025.
Yep.
Jayco 2025. So we put that in the chat, and it's also in the description box. It'll be in all my shows. I'll have Skin Wisdom, the link in the discount code, so you guys can take advantage of this. Gentlemen, and of course, lady, any final words?
Yeah.
Yes, please. There we go.
Animals love the product also. It's great for hot spots on dogs.
Horses, animals, we've used it for years. I have a friend who races horses, and she was using it. And anyway, we don't need to start that because Tracy Joe told me you have to get off early to set up for the next one. Am I correct?
We got a little bit more time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Bill may be able to tell you about animals.
Let's do that. Yeah.
One of the gentlemen who were helping us with business plans early on had show dogs. And generally, when one got a hot spot, it was about $15,000 in vet bills and getting the animal ready to show. And he said it literally took weeks and weeks and weeks of heavy care to an animal, essentially days to get hot spots under control.
And it was free instead of $1,500.
And he said he couldn't believe it. I got the bottle free, so I saved myself $1,500.
I wrote my first business plan with him, so I gave him a bottle. He was the director of business over at USF.
It's kind of amazing over the years what we hear because you just don't think of certain things, and then people say, "Oh, by the way, those things that are called hemorrhoids, it shrunk them."
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway. Certain conversations have been, very private in my office.
We're talking about animals, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any other for the horses for Deborah?
Horses is big, and I'll tell you, in the fish market where they grow the amount of loss of tropical fish from the time they're hatched to the time they get them to a shop, in uh, aquarium or an end stage place where they're sold, they can lose up to 99% of the fish that hatched, and
Wow.
a 5 or 10% savings in cutting down the death rate is phenomenal for that industry.
Yeah.
Tell them
So,
about when you threw it into your fish tank.
oh, I had, and oh God, I had a favorite angelfish who used to hang out in my corner of the tank in my office for years, and a blight hit my tank, a fungus, and it wiped out the three other angelfish, and it was sad. And there, I came in, and he was laying on his side on the bottom with these orange tufts on all of his fins, and I could see he was barely breathing. And my fish guy had come through that day, and he said, "He's finished, Doc, but I'll throw a little bit of antibiotic in there." I said, "Okay, Charlie, I'm gonna throw something in too." So when Charlie walked out, I got my concentrate of Skin Wisdom out, and I gave him
Poured it.
I gave him three large ones. All right, and lo and behold, 4 hours later, he was actually starting to get up off the bottom of the tank. He was now, the bottom was like that, but he was at 45 to 50 degree angle. The next day he was free floating, not quite level, but he was working on it. And I have to tell you, by day 5, the stupid things that looked like pom-poms on his fins fell off. I'm going, oh shit, I've got an angelfish that doesn't have fins now. and lo and behold, over the next 8 days, he regrew his fins and lived 2 more years.
Oh my God.
That was a story, Michael.
You talk about a hard to kill fish.
Jeez. Wow.
An angelfish lived 5 years,
We are. It's funny you bring that. We are looking at some applications for that. I mean, it's still a little bit early to talk about, but we do think that the silicone, just like it keeps bacteria from getting into the wound and fouling, it could do the same thing in terms of with an aquarium, whether it's on the fish or on the glass, because the silicone itself doesn't allow things to stick to it.
It replaces the jelly layer on the
Yeah.
We think
on the scales. And the other thing is, the darn fish can breathe through it. So I know it's vapor permeable.
it's for sure.
I mean, if you have a compromised fish that's having trouble breathing at all, and he's up winking at you, at day 6, going, "Hey, put some more in, give me a double this today, It's a funny story, but it really happened. I have to tell you, it blew me away. Charlie, my fish guy, just went and said, "Doc, I don't believe you saved him."
That's funny.
Guys, so there's probably a lot more uses that you're going to find over time that you can use for this.
What we're trying to do is kind of go step by step so that we don't kind of try to be everything for everybody. We know now that it works really well for the open wounds, for the sunburn, and for the insect bites. We are looking to other formulations for other things in terms of even industrial applications as well as veterinary applications. Still probably a little too early to get into some of that stuff, but they do show promise.
It should help with areas where you have a problem with moisture and fouling.
Yeah.
In certain pipes and stuff like that.
Talk about anti-aging.
Does
it do anti-aging? Plastic surgeon?
Some people have a tough time with their pipes. Yes. I'm having trouble.
Okay, I didn't get the answer from him, but as you know, I've been using this spray for 20 years, twice a day, and I'm 78 this year. I'll be 78 in October. So I heard from many, many people when we did our first studies, and we did have it in an aloe cream with the spray combined, and their lines went away right away. So that's something I'm not pushing right now, but yes, it's been something remarked on, and we had, I think, 60 women try it at a healthcare center and a beauty center years ago, and I've got all those saved. But I think we need to redo it, and with the new formulations and
I think
that.
the hyaluronic acid will improve that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we're gonna redo them just for you, Michael.
Here we go. There's a question about the alinacone. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Do you want to know what
yeah,
it
someone's
is?
asking what it is, and
Yeah,
I know we
so
probably discussed it before, but maybe just go over that a little bit.
it is either 3 to 4 repeat units of a silicone, a silanol. So it's basically silicone, oxygen, silicone with two OH groups on the side. So basically it's water loving, water hating, water loving. And that's really which is very similar how cell membranes work, right? The outside towards the water loves water. The inside is a fat, and then in the interior again is so you can think of it sort of as a surfactant, a biocompatible surfactant.
Very nice, very nice. So if you get, I know you guys have talked about how people have talked about, written in and said that they've had great results. I just put that out to the audience. If you do get good results, let us know, and get some pictures. We always love that. If you'd like to share, that's fantastic. It's we're probably building a nice little list of people that have had really great results. That's good for these guys. It's good for the product going forward. It's good for you because we'll make better products. As you can see, they're looking at making more products. And that's all because of you guys came in that one time that we did that show, and it blew up so well that these guys are ready to take off and do more products. And you're helping humanity by getting involved in this. And then if you get good results, let us know.
Thank you. I want to say one thing too, because they asked Alenacone it was named after my mother, who she had radiation at the base of her tongue. She had cancer. And so when Bill wanted to start this and I wanted to help him, he still is a doctor with his own practice, and he didn't want that tied in because you don't want to keep it separate. So my mother and I invested, and she was the biggest investor. And then 68 people after are all involved in the company. And so when she died, the board of directors insisted that it be named Alenacone, Alan, after her. I did not want that because I knew my name was the same, but I accepted it. And I love her, and I'm very proud that she spent so much time with us, and she lived with me for 10 years. So she was very intricately involved with the company. So that's the other half of Alenacone. Yeah. Where did it come from? So that's it basically. And my parents, would have been very proud of Bill and the company, and they were for what we did. Okay. So I think that's it. And I think then Tracy Joe will be happy because I'm getting you to 10 minutes to get a hold of that other person. Mm-hmm. And she texted me because she heard that it works on other issues like hemorrhoids. And I want to say to people there, I use Aveeno cream now because I don't have my Skin Wisdom cream, and I put some rescue spray in, and I'll put it on some spots. Yeah. And you can put it on any spots, including hemorrhoids, and it would work.
That's a good point. Just to kind of end on is that if you do have other products, if you just apply the Skin Wisdom on top of it, you will get an improved. Is what we've seen is you get an improved effect because it keeps it in contact with your skin for longer. It allows it to do its job and not just to come off. So
it will work with any product that's water-based or oil-based.
Yeah.
And they will actually, the Skin Wisdom.
So if you got, very expensive products you're already using, this helps them and helps them last longer, right?
It delivers them into the skin where you want them.
Absolutely.
Wow. So you spend a lot of money on, beauty products, and you give a little spray, and it's gonna go that much better and get better results. That's fantastic. Great way to end it.
Oil or water based, it will actually facilitate moving it into the skin.
Absolutely. Yes.
And it does it with antibiotics also.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I know we're gonna be doing more of these shows. So guys, stay tuned. Get the product. You want to have a couple on hand because if something comes up, you're going to be spraying, or somebody in your family has a problem, you're going to be spraying because the results are amazing. So have a couple on hand, and you're going to see how incredible this product is if you haven't tried it yet. So it's one of those things you want to have. It's your rescue kit if you have a problem, your med kit as I call it. And I, like Jen said, I spray it on my face every day, and and I have great skin now. So I always had okay skin, but I would say it's much better now. So like we're talking about, everything you use, it takes it to another level. So creams or whatever you're using, this spray Skin Wisdom right there.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. Right.
Right.
and there's a lot of history behind this, a lot of love behind this. And these guys are still loving it. And I think Tracy Joe is running down. She's gonna make a comment.
Hi. Oops, I never get this. There we go. Can you scoot her that way so I can? There we go.
We're scooting too.
Words are very important.
True.
I had some plastic surgery on my stomach, big long scar, and they gave me a product, and on the bottle, it was supposed to be something for me to put on that incision, and it said scar across it. And when I got it, I looked at it and I went, wait, I thought I didn't want a scar. And Jennifer had already given me this amazing product. And I can't wait till it's back in the blue bottle. And Skin Wisdom is what my incision asked me for. Seriously, you can hold these products. It'll tell you. It said, no, this one. And the other one I threw away. That other one was super expensive, you guys. That I paid a lot, over $150 for 2 of those each. Each one was, because I really wanted it to go away. This
You're great.
will make your scars go away invisibly, in tandem with, I'm not going to not say it, with LifeWave patches. They're one of the most amazing things too. But this product right here on my skin, because our skin is probably the biggest organ we have right outside our body.
It is.
And everyone's always running around saying, how do I crepey skin and, this stuff right here. When you said that if you apply it over what you're already using, it will synergistically increase the energy production of even that product. Did you hear what he said, you guys? We're not telling you to throw anything away. We're telling you to add something to what you're already doing. And something you guys didn't talk about were children. They used to have a product called Bactine. This is my #1 spray on a child. Be safe to spray on a child, or diaper rash.
Yeah.
Or any stuff they break out on their face from the yeasty stuff. Mommies, please try this. I promise. It'll be the thing in your diaper bag forever. You'll get rid of Desitin, powder, all those things will buy.
Yeah.
True.
Mommies and grandmas that don't have, all those old products that, that wisdom has gone away, but now we have Skin Wisdom.
Yeah. All you need is one in your pocket.
I got to say this too, because I'm a fitness specialist. First of all, I'm a spiritual, loving person about myself. And I hear people call this beautiful creation that God designed from Mother Earth a skin suit, a pain jacket. It's not that, you guys. Stop calling it that. It's Skin Wisdom, and it's trying to talk to you, your skin. Anyway, that's all I got. I got a lot more, but that's all I'm going to give you today.
And Tracy, Joe, I would say one thing to that: you can spray it on before and put stuff on top, and it'll work either way.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
You don't have to worry. Yeah,
Nice.
Layer it.
Nice. Layer it.
However you wish, and it'll work. It'll go through.
Lovely.
Thank you, Mike.
Great conversation, everyone, and
Yes.
look forward to hearing from everybody's results. I think they're going to be spectacular. As more and more people use this product, it's absolutely one of those products that got pushed down, and it got pushed down like that ball you push down in a pool. But this ball is filled with helium, so now it's released and it's skyrocketing.
That's why we're popping back up.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you again, Michael. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your listeners for taking the time.
Thank you, listeners. It's been great. You guys are amazing.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You are too. You know that. We love you.
Love you guys too. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're still on.